However, those allegations that were made yesterday by Rahul Gandhi, in fact, saying that Adani Group had hijacked the airports across the country and making those allegations there, we already heard it from the GVK vice chairperson saying that there were no such pressure at all on them or the company. Let's now listen in from what they have been saying in a counter to Rahul Gandhi's allegations made on the floor of the House yesterday.
Yeah. So as far as GVK is concerned, there was absolutely no pressure on our side, either through Govt Adani or any other agency, for us to sell the airport. We sold the airport due to our own commercial interests and on our own accord. If I may give you the background, the airport company, Mumbai Airport, has a holding company. And we had raised some loans in the holding company about 10 years ago when we acquired the Bangalore airport. And those loans were becoming due. So we had to repay those loans. So a few years ago, we started the process of getting some investors into that company. And we had tied up with three global investors, PSP from Canada, then ADIA from Abu Dhabi, and NIIF, which is the Government of India's sovereign fund. All these three investors committed to invest, and we signed an agreement and we were going ahead with them. But they had a lot of conditions precedent before they invested. Unfortunately, in 2020, we had COVID. And for about 3 to 4 months, the airport was completely shut and it was very badly affected from a financial perspective. And nobody knew when things will come back to normal. So in that scenario, there was further delay from the investors to fund the money. And there was no time horizon that we were getting from them. At the same time, the debt was becoming due. Under these circumstances, Govt Adani approached me and said that he's very interested in Mumbai Airport and would like to offer us the same terms that the foreign investors had offered us. And with the condition that he will complete the transaction immediately, with no conditions precedent.
And the investors that you were earlier talking to, including the NIIF, which is a government fund, they were saying that they would take more time to complete the transaction, or
yeah. So there are two things they were saying. One is that they wanted to reevaluate everything due to the large impact of COVID. And secondly, they had a lot of conditions that we had to meet, some of which were very difficult to meet within the time frame that the debt was becoming due. So we had discussions with them wherein we said that these are not possible. And, it's very important that we close immediately. We spent more than a year after the agreement to try to close those conditions, some of which they also had to conclude. So it was in the interest of the company and in the interest of the lenders that we go ahead with Adani Group as they brought in the money immediately.
Okay. And was it kind of a distress sale, because you're saying that debt was rising?
I won't say it's a distress sale, because the transaction we had concluded with the foreign investors was before COVID.
Okay.
And he agreed to meet the same terms and conditions, even though it is after COVID.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's a distress sale, but it was distress from the perspective that we had to pay the lenders and we did not want to default with the lenders.
Okay.
So the time frame was very important for us.
Okay. And sir, there was in Rahul Gandhi's parliament speech, he also mentioned that there was a rule earlier that if a firm or a company, if it doesn't have a prior experience of managing or developing airports, it could not be given the airports. And this was changed by the government to help. This rule was changed by the government to help the Adani Group. Was there any such rule existing before this sale happened, sir?
In relation to our transaction, Mumbai Airport transaction?
No, he has alleged that there was a rule that if a company doesn't have prior experience in running airports, it cannot be given the contracts.
Correct.
But was there any such rule?
There was no rule like that as far as our transaction is concerned. I don't know whether there was any rule in relation to the 6 airports that he won. That I'm not aware.
Okay.
And I don't want to comment on it because I'm not aware. But as far as our transaction was concerned, there was no such rule.
Okay. And you are also not...
Because the airport was already in operation. It was already operating well. We had completed all the requirements of the agreement with the government. So therefore, we didn't have any such rule to transfer our asset to Adani's.
Okay. And sir, till a few decades ago, the airports in India used to be managed by airport authority and government agencies. We have seen that era in the 90s, till 90s.
Long back.
Yeah, long back. How did GVK enter into this business of running airports?
So in 2003, during the NDA government under the Prime Ministership of Prime Minister Vajpayee, they had announced a policy to bring private investment into airports because they thought that the airports in India weren't of a high standard. They wanted to make the airports of a global standard. So they had announced a policy. So under this same policy, the Bombay and Delhi airports were put up for tender. And through that process, we won it. No doubt when we won it, the government changed, but the same policies continued.
Okay.
This was in 2006. We won it in 2006.
And this is around the time GMR, GVK all entered.
Yes.
Somebody got Delhi and you
Yes.
said Bangalore and Mumbai. Okay. And sir, at the time of sale of when you transferred the Mumbai airport to the Adani's, was it the most profitable airport in the country or there were others?
I don't know whether we're the most profitable, but certainly before COVID, it was very profitable. But after COVID, obviously, we had serious problems because, for 4 months, we had zero revenue.
Okay.
So when we transferred it to Adani, I wouldn't say it was profitable because, we didn't have any revenue at that time.
Aishwarya and Pranesh, both of them joining us live on the broadcast. Pranesh, where does this leave us, especially with regards to the allegations that were made by Rahul Gandhi yesterday? Because this explanation, this entire process of how the Mumbai airport was handed over to the Adani's, not coming in from a BJP spokesperson, but from the GVK chairman who says it was GVK that needed fundraising. There was no pressure either by the Adani Group or by any of the agencies.
Prithwin, the highlight of Rahul Gandhi's charge yesterday in Lok Sabha against Prime Minister Modi and the Modi government was that, look, the proof of your rishta, his words not mine, with Adani is the fact that the Mumbai airport deal was done under coercion. GVK Group, that was holding the contract for running Mumbai airport, was forced to part ways with it, forced to give it to Adani. He said the airport was taken away from the GVK Group. The GVK Group today has come out with a statement, and you heard that detailed clarification from the vice chairperson, no less. He says that we needed money. Adani Group approached us. There was no pressure, neither from Adani nor from anyone else. What does it tell you? Now, on the back of the comments by the GVK Group chairperson, the BJP has upped its attack on the BJP. Mahesh Jethmalani, who is a member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, he has put out a tweet. He is demanding apology from Rahul Gandhi for misleading the House, for misleading people. The BJP is now back to saying that Rahul Gandhi is doing fakery, that there was no substance to what he said about Adani GVK takeover that happened. And you heard the vice chairperson of the GVK Group, he goes into detail. He says that, look, there was a situation where we were not actually interested in continuing with running the Mumbai airport. We were looking at different options. Gautam Bhai, his words, Gautam Bhai approached us. We needed money. He said that he would give us money in a short span of time, in a month and a half, if I'm not wrong, which is why we decided to go ahead with the deal. Now, what happens to Rahul's charge that there was pressure on GVK? Will we hear anything from Rahul Gandhi or from Congress spokespersons who are echoing Rahul's script?
Well, it's been completely punctured there because we heard it directly from the GVK Vice Chairperson there. Thank you very much, Pranesh. I'm told that Mr. Rajagopalan is also with us here on the broadcast. Sir, you've been listening to what's been happening in the Parliament. Even yesterday when it comes to Rahul Gandhi's allegations, and today the counter allegations now being made also by the BJP leaders. Now this is the GVK Vice Chairperson straight away saying in a clear-cut message that there was no pressure whatsoever on them or even the company when it comes to getting in this relationship as a business relationship with the Adani Group over the airport buy.
GVK press conference exposes Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He has not done homework as said by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad in the Lok Sabha itself today. Therefore, my understanding is Mr. Rahul Gandhi does not know that, he is speaking some off-the-cuff remark without authentication, without any sort of substantiative materials. Therefore, my understanding is Mr. Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra, is it Adani Kojo Yatra? That is what GVK now represents. GVK's denial is going to hit a major way in the political career of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, because when he said about Rafale, he quoted President of France that he told him like that. And second thing, Chaukidar Chor was also back boomeranged on Congress. Similarly, now GVK will also boomerang on Congress and also in particular Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Therefore, my understanding is Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech in Lok Sabha yesterday was only to lobby for GVK. Now that GVK has ditched Rahul Gandhi, what is the answer of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and also the Congress?
Yes,
now,
while Rahul Gandhi,
GVK.
Mr. Rajagopalan made all of those allegations, raised all of those questions with the BJP, in particular the Prime Minister, remains to be seen how the Congress party will now respond to what has been said in this detailed clarification coming in from the GVK Vice Chairman. Thank you for speaking to us.